All right. Oh my God. You guys, I am just so incredibly happy before we even get started that you are here with me. I love this and I am so happy that you guys are here with me. Um, so let's get this party started, shall we? So, in case you don't know who I am, hello, my name is Maureen Webb. I'm an astrology, human design, and Gene Keys guide. Um, I'm also an author, which I swear to God, I never thought I was going to say in my entire life. I also own an Etsy shop called Astromancy Creations. I am a certified life coach. And what most people find really fascinating is the next part. I am a former Chicago police officer. Back in August of last year, I made the decision to retire early. I had 16 years on the job. I picked up, sold my house, and took these two ridiculously good-looking dogs, jumped in my car, and drove across the country, where I now live in the most beautiful, soul-warming place that I know, Sedona, Arizona. It is an absolute honor for me to be with you today talking about human design. So thank you very much for that. So we have a lot of ground to cover. Please let me know if I'm going too fast. Like I said before, I'm going to take questions after I go through this. Nothing is off limits, so feel free to ask me whatever you'd like. What is the human design system? The human design system combines astrology, the I Ching, the Kabbalah tree of life, the chakra system, astronomy, genetics, biochemistry, and quantum mechanics. Whew. The human design system provides a unique personal blueprint, and it is also known as the science of differentiation. It is literally the science of what makes you unique. In the words of Ra Uru Hu himself, who was the messenger for human design offers a mechanical understanding of the nature of being. With understanding comes a genuine revolution, the realignment of a life, and the awakening of awareness. That is a beautiful quote. I love it. So we know what human design is, but what is human design not? Human design is not a belief system. It doesn't require that you believe in anything. It's not stories, it's not philosophy. It is a concrete map to the nature of being. It is literally a mapping of your genetic code. This ability to be able to detail the mechanics of our nature in such depth is obviously profound because it reveals our complete nature in all of its subtleties. Human design opens the door to the potential of self-love, a love for life, and the love of others through understanding. A brief history before I blow your minds with everything else. The human design system was received in 1987 by a man whose government name was Robert Allen, and I never say this right, Crower, sorry. Now he's known as Ra Uru Hu, which I can totally pronounce. During a very mystical 8-day experience in Isba, Spain. During this 8 days, he had what he calls an encounter with the voice. Ra says that the voice revealed scientific information regarding the origins and the workings of the universe and gave him the formula for the human design system. For several years after what Ra calls a shocking encounter, he formulated and experimented with the information that the voice gave him. And from that time on, he dedicated his life to spreading the knowledge of the human design system to the entire world. Ra passed away in 2011. So from 1987 to 2011, he literally dedicated himself to the human design system. An interesting thing to note is that he actually wasn't the only person in the world to receive this information. The story, as I remember it, was there was another person who also received this information that didn't actually go public with it. So I think that's actually kind of neat. But as a manifester, Ra was a 5-1 manifester. It was literally his job to do this. This was his purpose in life, was to bring the human design system to the public and to the world. So one of the bases, the big things in human design are what we call neutrinos. And neutrinos are cosmic messengers that are often referred to as the breath of the stars. They exhale energy of stellar fusion and they fill the entire universe. At every given second of every single minute of every single day, there are approximately 3 trillion, not million, not billion, trillion neutrinos that pass through the earth and every single thing on the earth. So right now, neutrinos are passing through all of us, even inanimate objects. The sun produces about 70% of all the neutrinos in the Milky Way, and 30% of them are emitted by other stars and even a small amount by the planet Jupiter. Neutrinos, when we want to talk about them, they are almost like the modern day equivalent of what the ancients would call chi or prana. So that was all for the history lesson. So this, I know if you've never seen human design, you're probably like, what the hell is this, Maureen? This is the Rave Mandala. Remember all the way back a couple of minutes ago when I spouted out like the 10 things that human design is actually a culmination of? This is the picture of the culmination of what human design is. On this Rave Mandala, we have the I Ching hexagrams, which I tried to make an arrow at. We also have the gates. We have the centers of the body graph and the gates that go into each center. We have the astrological wheel that we can see that goes completely around the circle. The Kabbalah tree of life is right in here. And this whole body looking thing is called your body graph. The one thing on this Rave Mandala that I'm not going to talk about are the quadrants, which are up here: initiation, civilization, duality, and mutation. I am thinking about, and you all can let me know in the comments or you can DM me, of doing like a second one, going a little bit deeper on human design. If we do, if the people want it, I will do it. So let me know. So this, I love this mandala. I just think it's so beautiful. And this one's actually mine. When you look at your mandala, the gates that you have in your body graph are actually colored in. So like everybody's is different. And I just think it's just really super pretty. So we're going to get into some super fun stuff right now. What I want to walk you guys through first are the human design types. Your human design type is based on your aura. So what I will say next might be a little bit controversial, and if somebody wants to come at me, that's cool. There are only 4 types in human design. Because your human design type is based on your aura, generators and manifesting generators are the same type. So you will see people say 5 types, some people say 4 types. If we are going with source material from Ra himself, 4 types, not 5. The easiest way, and actually the most fun way when I was learning about human design, was to learn the types like a movie. So I'm going to teach you guys how to learn the types like a movie. Generators, all generators are actors. When we have 70% of the population that fall into generators or manifesting generators, we are the stars of the show. Without generator, there's no sitcoms, there's no anything, there's no production. Generators have powerful sacral energy, and they keep the movie, i.e. the world, spinning. When you are a pure generator, you stick to your script and you build on your lines step by step. Generators, when they're not manifesting generators, one of the things that because I'm a generator, we have to remember is that we need to do things step by step. If we try to skip steps or go too fast, a lot of times the things that we want to create will fail. So for me, it's an easy way to remember, as a generator, we build on our lines step by step. Manifesting generators are the improv actors of the show. Most often, they don't require a script, and they can go off on different tangents at a drop of a dime. They are also the actors that have multiple roles in the same movie, and they make it seem so effortless. When you think about manifestors in real life, they are the time benders. They are the multitaskers. If you think about your life and if you or somebody you know in your life like can't sit still and has to be doing 8 or 9 things at the same time, but they seem to all get it done in about 3 minutes, 9 times out of 10, that person's a manifesting generator. It is amazing as a generator to see how I can't even believe how they do it. Like, it exhausts me, and I have a lot of energy to see how a manifesting generator moves through the world. The one thing, if you're a manifesting generator or you know one, that I would caution is be careful not to skip so many steps that you fail at what you are doing. Sometimes with a manifesting generator, the momentum is so intense that instead of skipping the 1 or 2 steps that they think they want to, they'll skip 3 or 4 and fall on their face. So go fast, but not too fast. So I believe, I think Lindsay, you're a projector. I don't know anybody, I can't remember who anybody else is, I apologize. But okay, so the projectors are the directors of the movie. They are here to guide and lead the cast, i.e. the generators, but they require invitation and recognition to do their job. Directors also have to be discerning when it comes to assisting the actors in the correct manner, or they will be met with resistance and potentially have a strike on their hands. Very often, there is a special relationship between projectors and generators. And the more guidance that a projector can give to a generator to respond to, the more powerful they become. As a generator who knows a lot of really, really amazing projectors, I find it to be such a nurturing relationship. Well, we're going to get into the strategies in a little bit, but I want to share a story about it now. A lot of times, because a projector's aura is focused and penetrating, they want to help people. They want to, they can walk, a projector can walk into the room and set their sights on you, and it's like they can see inside your soul. And all they want to do is like help you. Like, let me just help you fix this. I know what to do. Oh my God, I can see the problem. We ask projectors to wait for recognition and invitation because so often they want to help and they offer up their suggestions and their assistance without being asked. And that's what a lot of things, they lead to resentment. So the hardest thing for a projector to do is to wait for the invitation, but it is the best thing that a projector can do for their energy. And what I tell projectors and generators is we have this really beautiful relationship, because the strategy for projectors is wait for the invitation and recognition. Generators are wait to respond. So if you as a projector are out here living your life, doing what lights you up, that gives 70% of the population, us generators, something to respond to. And then we recognize you and we invite you into our world. So as hard as it seems for a projector to wait for the invitation, it is so important, because I don't want a projector's feelings to get hurt, because they're so wise. Okay, that was like my love letter to projectors. Oh, and then we have manifestors. Manifestors are the script writers. They're here to initiate, but not make the movie themselves. Manifestors really enjoy their alone time, and they have a closed and repelling aura that kind of helps them be alone. They really need to be able to focus on their creative flow so that they can write award-winning screenplays. When you know about human design, and you do the thing that I did and run everybody you know's chart, you ask them for their birthday, their time of birth, all the things, and you find a manifester, you will literally be like, oh, yeah, I saw that. There is a je ne sais quoi about manifestors. They know what they want. They tell you what they want. They don't ask, they tell you what they want. And then they're like, all right, well, listen, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You can hang out with me, or I'll catch you on the flip side. They definitely have a way about them that can sometimes be off-putting because their aura is closed and repelling. They are here to initiate. When you read about the history of human design, manifestors were the kings and the queens in earlier times. They were literally the ones that were like, okay, you're going to do this, and that's it. They don't do, they initiate. And then the rest of us either go along with them or sit back. So I know 2 manifestors, and they are something else, but I love them. I love them. I feel like manifestors are a little bit of an acquired taste, but when you can get through that closed and repelling aura, man, they're amazing people. They really are. So next, we have the 1%. If you are a reflector and you are here, can you totally put that in the chat? Because I would love to know if any reflectors are here. Reflectors are the movie critics. Literally, when I said they're only 1%, I meant it. They're literally only 1% of the population. And it's really, really important for the generators, the projectors, and the manifestors to listen when they speak up. Reflectors are literally here to reflect back to all of us the energy that we put out into the world so that we can become aware of ourselves. It's a really, really, like, I would think that's just a really hard job. And that's not something I would be wanting to try to do. They ask us, are we coming from a place of alignment or conditioning? Once reflectors realize how important their jobs are in the Tinseltown ecosystem, since we're using movies, they become very aware and particular about what movies, i.e. environments, that they actually go and see. Because reflectors have no definition in their charts, they are super, super sensitive to their environment. They're like the psychics. I only know one reflector. And she can 100% like feel the room out. And she is very, very sensitive to the people and the places that she is in. Because they have no definition, they have to be careful of who they're around, because just like in astrology, when you mix your astrology, your human design and a reflector's human design mix and blend. So if they aren't used to your energy, they're not used to having any defined centers, which we will get into later, it can be kind of shocking to them. So yeah, they're pretty cool. But like I said, 1%, I only know one. It's, yeah, pretty cool. So how are we doing, you guys? We're doing good? I think we're doing good. I feel like we're doing good. We're doing good on time. Awesome. So The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about are profile descriptions. Now we know the 4 types in human design. So now I want to talk to you about the numbers. So later on, I'm actually going to show you some charts, but when you run your chart, you're going to have a profile and a type. Your profile looks like a fraction. There are 12 different profiles, and each one of the numbers are between the number 1 and 6. And they're actually never the same. There's not a 3-3 or a 1-1. They're 2 different numbers. These numbers are based on the hexagram of the I Ching. So if you have a line 1 in your profile, it is known as the investigator. Line 1s love to build a foundation. They love gathering information. Line 1s believe that power and confidence equal knowledge. And the more knowledge, the better for a line 1. And a line 1 loves going down a good rabbit hole. These are the people in your life that cannot get enough studying. I want to know more. I want to read more. I need another class. This is the line 1. It is the foundation. It is the investigator, and it does not stop consuming knowledge. Line 2 is the hermit. They are known as the hermit or the naturals. I am a 2-4, so this is a little close to my heart. Line 2s are naturally gifted souls that need to be called out by the other. Once a line 2 is called out, they come out of their little hermit mode, go outside, give, and then retreat back into their lab so they can spend time alone, honing their craft, waiting for the next call to come out and show what they're gifted at. For me, I know this might sound really funny, but I had no idea that people didn't know about their astrology or about their human design. I thought that everybody knew how to do tarot cards. I just assumed that people knew how to do this because it came so naturally to me that when somebody actually was like, "Hey, Maureen, you can get paid for this." I was like, "What are you talking about? Why would people pay me? I thought everybody knew how to do this." And that's how I started, because I got called out. I've been doing astrology for years. One of my first and most amazing, beautiful, lovely memories is being a kid walking into the library and immediately going to the section on New Age. And I had fallen in love after that. It was love. So if you have a line 2 in your profile, I like to ask the people that come to me for readings, what do you do that's so easy that you couldn't believe somebody would pay you to do it? That is your gift. And that is what people will pay you for. Next, we come to the line 3, also known as the martyr. Line 3s are actually like it's like one of my favorite lines. I think they're all my favorite lines. Who am I kidding? They are not afraid to get dirty in the game of life. They're hands-on learners that literally dive right into the deep end just for the experience. They can often be heard saying, been there, done that. Even with the mess they expose themselves to on a daily basis, they're just naturally resilient. It is like the job of the 3 line to bump into things and learn the lesson. It's their job to be like the messy kid, but like forever. Like they are the curious one. They do and experience things just to say that they do it, because for them, learning and doing something new is just all about the experience. So next, we have the line 4, the opportunist. Line 4, all about their network. When you think of a line 4, you think of the quote, your network is your net worth. Line 4s crave connection and are often seen as introverted extroverts. Others come to a line 4 because they're the person that, hey, they know a guy who knows a guy that can help you out. Oftentimes, opportunity comes to a line 4 from their network. If you have a line 4 in your profile, I invite you to think about how you have gotten all of the jobs that you've had in your entire life. Odds are it's from people that you know. A line 4 cannot, I don't even say cannot. It is more beneficial for a line 4 to do things with community than it is to do things alone. And once a line 4 sinks into that, and they have the right network and the right community, there is literally limitless potential to where a line 4 can go. So now we have the line 5, also known as the heretic. Line 5s are all about being problem solvers. They deal with things sensibly and realistically in a way that's based on practical rather than theoretical considerations. They sift through the projections of others with discernment and thoughtful insight. One thing that I did not mention in here, I forgot to write up, is a line 5 also is really, and not in a negative way, they're also very concerned with their reputation. Because they are so impeccable with themselves, they fear that other people may see them in a light that isn't so kind. They often fear being seen because they're afraid that people won't see them for who they truly are. Line 5s, the line 5s in my life are the ones that I go to when I have a problem, because they can literally see things in a way that I can't. I don't even know how they do it. It's for example, my cousin is a 5'1", and I talk to her about my problems because The way she sees things, I can't even do it. I'm like, how do you do that? So if you have a line 5 in your profile or in your life, give them an extra hug today, because they work really, really hard to be the best people that they can be. And then we have the line 6, the role model. Line 6s are said to be old souls. They live their life in 3 phases and always lead by example. The 3 phases, and I'll talk to you about that right now. When you have a line 6 in either your first number or your second number, you will live life in 3 phases. Your first phase will be from 0 to 30. And that's when you live life like a 3 line. For lack of a better term, your first 30 years are a shit show, but for good reason. You take the experiences from your first 30 years and you will use them to help others later on in life. Your second phase of life is between 30 and 50. And if you are an astrology nerd like I am, you will recognize that those 2 ages are your Saturn return and your Chiron return. During those 20 years of your life, you will learn to heal the wounds that you received from those first 30 years. And you also have the ability to help others. You may hear when people talk about being on the roof, that is the second phase of a line 6 lifeline. If you can imagine sitting on a roof, you oversee things. You are able to see things from a different perspective. Your third phase of life is between the ages of 50 and your last day on this planet. That is when you become the role model. I like to tell my line 6s, who I actually read for a line 6 today, it's like you're in Buddha pose. You help people heal. You are healed or healing yourself. But instead of like you going out into the world, people come to you for your knowledge and see you for the beautiful experiences that you have had and the trials and tribulations that you have gone through and how you've gotten through them. Where a line 5 is considered a problem solving and a problem solver or even a leader, the line 6 is a role model. It's, hey, I've done this and let me show you, let me teach you what I learned. Never pressuring people to do it your way, but giving them the knowledge that they need to help themselves not make the same quote unquote mistakes that you made. Because for a line 3 that turns into a line 6, even just a line 3, there's no such things as mistakes. You've just learned the wrong way to do something. And you should never feel bad about the things that you do that don't turn out the way that you think that they should. So I hope you guys are doing good. I'm going to take a couple of seconds to get a drink of water. So now that we have talked about your type and we have talked about your profile, the next thing that I want to cover is strategy and authority. If you have been on the Instagram or the interwebs, you hear people in human design say strategy and authority, strategy and authority. Just go to your strategy and authority. But if you don't know what human design is, you don't know what strategy and authority is and why people tell you to fall back on it. Your strategy is there to let you know the best way to navigate your life. In human design, there are 5 different strategies, and 4 of them involve waiting. Manifestors are the only type that does not have a strategy that involves waiting. Your authority is your guiding force in life. In human design, there are 7 possible authorities, with projector having 5 of those 7. You can have emotional authority, sacral authority, splenic authority, ego authority, self-projected authority, sounding board, also known as mental authority, and lunar authority. I'm going to give a brief synopsis of strategy and authority for each one of the types. For generators and manifesting generators, your strategy is wait to respond. The 2 types of authority you can have are sacral or emotional. Because 4 of the 5 strategies involve waiting, I would like to take this opportunity to share a story and to offer a suggestion if you happen to have a strategy that involves waiting.
Settle down, it's okay.
In 2018,
Okay.
I was introduced to human design. I was so excited for something new. I went online. I looked up my profile. I saw that I was a generator. And I was like, okay, this is awesome. So I bought a book. I opened the book and I looked at my strategy. And it said, wait to respond. If you know me personally, you know I'm an Aries, and you know the word wait doesn't exist in my vocabulary. I don't even know how to spell it right. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Sorry about that. And I'm messing up, but that's okay. Mercury is in the microwave, it's fine. I literally shut the book for 2 years because I got butthurt because something told me to wait. When I finally opened the book again, it was after my mother had passed away. So I was completely different. All of a sudden, the words made sense. The idea of wait to respond made sense. When we say wait to ... it doesn't mean sitting on the couch eating open outcry pizza and bonbons, although sometimes I really wish it did. What it means is to do what you love, and the things that you desire will come to you so that you can respond to them. And when you think about it, we are all always responding to life. We wake up in the morning, we respond to our bladder, then we respond to the dogs, then we get ready, then we get in the car, then we respond to the traffic. Everything that we do in life is responding. So when we look at wait to respond and you have that perspective shift, it's not so bad. What we want to do here in this strategy is wait to respond to an outside stimulus. With generators and manifesting generators, our downfall is having an idea, thinking that it's amazing and it's going to make us $1 million, and then doing it, and then watching it fail because we responded to the voice in our head and not something or someone on the outside that would give us the idea that would spark our authority. So that's how that works for manifesting generators and generators. Anybody with wait to in their strategy is literally being asked to wait for the outside, before going and doing something. The only type in human design that is not supposed to wait are manifestors. And we are going to get to them right now. Oh, smooth transition. So for manifestors, their strategy is to inform and initiate. If you are a manifestor, you can be one of 3 authorities:
Move it. Come on.
emotional, splenic, or ego. When we talk about strategy for a manifestor, we literally, I'm not a manifestor, but manifestors, they get the urge. I always imagine them like popping up like a groundhog or like a peacock, or like, what? Oh, okay. This is a really great idea. I think I'm gonna go do it. And then lets the people around them in their environment know that, hey, listen, this is what I'm gonna do. And then they go and do it. That is what a manifestor does. They initiate things, they inform you. Or, hey, I know a manifestor who owns a business. She literally informs her people, initiates conversations, informs her people what to do, and then they do it. So manifestors in that way don't have to wait.
No.
A lot of times with manifestors, they get caught up with the informing part because they get so excited about the idea, they just go. When they don't inform the people around them, it can have a negative effect on their relationships. So as a manifestor, even with a manifestor child, it's always really good to teach them, inform me what you're going to do, then go ahead and do it. Because they're going to do it anyway, but it's always really nice to get that informing part in. So now I want to talk a little bit about the spiciness of manifesting generators. A lot of people, I don't even, you know what, scratch that. I don't even want to say a lot of people. What I noticed in the online community is when we talk about strategy and authority for manifesting generators, there will be people online that say a strategy for a manifesting generator is to wait to respond and inform and initiate. You can't do those two things. You just can't. It's impossible. Type is based on aura. The aura of a generator and manifesting generator is open and enveloping. The aura of a manifester is closed and repelling. It's literally the exact opposite. So it's one of my pet peeves. And I promise I won't like rag on about it, but your strategy is based on your aura. Your aura cannot be open and enveloping, enclosed and repelling. So that's why when we talk about manifesting, I talk about manifesting generators. I put them in with the generator type. Thank you for letting me get on my soapbox. The next type that we have are reflectors. The strategy for a reflector is to wait a lunar cycle. Their authority is the moon. Because reflectors have no definition, they want to be very cognizant of the transits that are occurring. Because just like in astrology, where everything changes, the sun changes, the moon, everything changes, even degrees, the same thing happens in human design. So one day, a reflector, a gate might be in transit that forms a channel and lights up two centers for a reflector. That's going to affect them. The next day, another gate might move. Mars might go into another gate. The sun and the earth change gates every 6 days. For reflectors, it is advised that they actually journal out how they feel every day and keep track of the transits, because knowledge is power. If you as a reflector know that there's a transit coming up and the last time this transit hit, it didn't feel so good, you can plan your day. You can plan where you're going to be. Reflectors are just more sensitive in that way. And last but not least, projectors. A projector's strategy is to wait for recognition and invitation. Authorities for projectors: emotional, splenic, ego, self-projected, or soundboard/mental. One day I will go into every single one of these authorities, but it's just a lot for today. I'm not going to lie. Like I had spoken about before, the hardest thing to do for a projector is to wait for that invitation. But it is so imperative that you do. Your strategy is here to help you. It does not want you to get hurt. It wants you to keep going and be in alignment. There will be times with a projector where it is not a direct invitation, it will be indirect. Some examples that I give my projector clients, because that's just like the right thing to do, is I give the example of social media. If you're on social media and you are a coach or you're selling something and you're a projector, and you wake up in the morning and you look at your Instagram and somebody has liked like 15 of your posts, that is an indirect invitation to make contact. What I want to tell the projectors here is you don't have to say yes to every invitation. It can be hard because I can only imagine how it feels for a projector to be recognized and invited. But sometimes the invitation is shit, and you don't have to say yes to it. This is where your authority would come in and guide you into whether or not to say yes or no to your strategy. But you don't have to be a people pleaser as a projector. No is an absolutely correct answer for an incorrect invitation. Whew. So now, my loves, we are going to talk about signatures and not self themes. Your signature and your not self themes are indicators as to how you receive information and how, if you're following it correctly. I will have to fix that slide. Yeah, the signature and the not self are the indicators you receive to confirm on whether you are correctly following your strategy and authority or not. Your signature and not self themes act like an indicator light in a car to confirm whether or not you are experiencing ease in your life, or if you're experiencing resistance and difficulty in your life. So for generators and manifesting generators, your signature is satisfaction. Your not self theme is frustration. Satisfaction is different for every generator. But if it leaves you with a sense of if what you are doing or where you are going or who you are with leaves you with a sense of at the end or while you're in the middle of doing something, that's satisfaction. Your not self theme is frustration. As a generator, I can tell you, I absolutely know when I feel frustration. What I also like to say with your signature and your not self theme is that it's okay. And it's actually, I feel like it's a divine blessing when we feel our not self themes. Because, like Abraham Hicks says, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. So when I'm feeling frustration, I know that what I'm doing is not in alignment with where I need to go. And I'm saying that for every single type, everybody. I am thankful that I have a signpost that tells me that I'm going the wrong way. Because if I didn't have that, how long would I be going the wrong way until I figured out it was the wrong way? So your not self theme isn't so bad, and it's nothing to be worried about. For projectors, your signature is success. And again, success means different things to different people. Your not self theme is bitterness. Yeah, I don't really, the projectors that I have worked with, when I say bitterness, they're like, oh yeah. So again, count your blessings when you feel the bitterness, because it's going to lead you to success. For manifestors, your signature is peace. And I can just feel the big, heavy sigh of peace. Even though I'm not a manifestor, I always, when I say it, it just, your not self theme is anger. And reflectors, and probably my favorite picture I found on Canva today. For reflectors, your signature is surprise. Your not self theme is disappointment. So are we ready for more? Because we're like totally not even done yet. So now that I have told you about profiles, told you about types, not self themes, signatures, strategy, authority, like all the good stuff, we're getting to the even better stuff. Now I want to talk to you guys about the centers of the body graph. For the centers of the body graph, there are 9 centers in said body graph. Sorry about this. Each center each center falls under one of 3 definitions. It can be defined, undefined, or open. We're going to go into those 3 in the next slides, but I want to take a moment and actually talk about what each center represents. We're going to start from the top. Your head center is all about ideas, inspiration, questions, and mental pressure. Your ajna is all about concepts, beliefs, perspectives, opinions, and mental awareness. Your throat center is communication, expression, and action. The throat center is the manifestation portal in human design. There is no manifestation arrow. Your manifestation comes from your throat center. Then right below that, we have the G center. And that is all about direction, love, identity, purpose, and path. Then we have the ego, otherwise known as the heart center. And that is about willpower, desire, motivation, and values. Moving on over to the left, we have the splenic center. That is about health, your immune system, fear, intuition, your instincts, and physical awareness. Moving to this bad boy right here, your sacral center is all about sexuality, life force energy, and creativity. Your solar plexus is all about emotions and feelings, relational and spiritual awareness. And then finally, last but not least, is your root center. Your root center is your life fuel, adrenal pressure, stress, and achievement. So next, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about each center, defined, undefined, and open. And I have a way of, I hope, making it easy for you to understand. So a defined center happens when you have two gates that connect, make a channel, and then light up two centers. That's a defined center. The way I love explaining this, because sometimes it gets complicated, is to imagine a window. If you have a defined center, imagine your window completely shut. Nothing gets in and nothing comes out unless you do something, unless you open the window. Defined centers are where we're kind of stubborn and stuck in our ways. It is where we have a consistent flow of energy. So it's really hard, but not impossible, for people to shake us. So imagine that as a window completely shut. That's what a defined center is. Next, we're going to talk about undefined centers. An undefined center is a vessel that reflects and amplifies the energy of another person, like the moon reflects the light of the sun. If you look at this body graph, this is an undefined center because it has what is called a hanging gate. I also like to call them little tentacles because they're always reaching the next center to make a channel. If we use the window analogy, imagine this center, your undefined centers, as a window with a screen. Your screens are your hanging gates, your little tentacles. So things can come in, but they're filtered through your hanging gates, through the screen. And then we have open centers. Not everybody has open centers in their body graph. I have seen up to 3 open centers in one person's body graph, but it's very rare. An open center is literally a center that has no defined gates. It is all alone, nothing's hanging, it's just chilling like a villain. When you take the window analogy, it's like having a window and leaving it completely open with no screen. So things come in and come out, and unless you are incredibly careful and you don't throw things back out that you don't need, things, ideas, words can stay in those centers and really fester and condition that center in a negative way. So if you have a completely open center, regardless of the center, my advice is always to be very protective of your boundaries, depending on what center it is. And when I do read for people that have open centers, we go into detail about that center and what it looks like and how it may feel when things aren't so right or the conditioning of that center is happening. Oh my God. I'm so excited about the next part. So now that I have walked you through a whole bunch of human design information, which I hope you enjoyed immensely, I want to show you on a chart what it actually looks like. Because I'm
Recording in progress.
Okay. So, boom. So we're using my body graph and my foundation chart because, like, I don't care if you guys see it. So what you want to do, if you actually want to look up your body graph, there are 1,000,001 places on the interwebs to do this. My personal preference and what I use all day, every day is geneticmatrix.com. What you would do is go to geneticmatrix.com. You can click register and then create a chart. Once you create the chart, you're going to need your birthday and your time of birth, and also your location of birth. You'll hit the create button and it will give you a quantum chart. The chart is like super big on a computer screen, so I'm breaking it up into the two sections that it is. This is the left side of the chart. This is the foundational. These are the foundational pieces of your chart. We talked about the type. We talked about profile. I didn't get into definition, that'll be later. Incarnation cross, your strategy, your themes. Then it goes into the information that you would get with your variables, which are the 4 arrows that you're going to see when you actually run your chart. Your design side, your personality side, and it also gives you your channels. If you're a reflector, you won't have any channels. Every other type has channels. You can have 1 channel, you can have 7 channels. The most I've ever seen is 7. So this gives you, this gives you the sauce. This gives you the sauce. I'm not even going to lie. So then we look at the right side, and this is your body graph. This, I tell people, this is just like your natal chart when you're looking at astrology. Here, you can see my centers. I have a defined head and ajna because here's the channel. I have an open throat, an open G, an open ego, an open emotional solar plexus. I have a defined sacral, and that's what makes me a generator. I have the 360 channel of mutation, which then defines my root. And I also have a defined splenic center. These, when I'm talking about arrows, here are your arrows. If you remember, we talked about neutrinos and how they are constantly bombarding our body and going through and giving us energy. What's interesting about neutrinos and your variables is they actually come up this way and then come around in swoop. And all of this is like super amazing information that one day I am hoping to share and create some content with. So also here, we'll go to the next slide. That's right. I forgot I had that. So what are you looking at? Well, you'll see these lines, these red lines right here. They're reaching out. Here's my squiggly hanging gate. This red line belongs to the design side of my chart. I can look at this number 22. I can find it here. And this is why here on my design side, it's only halfway. So gate 22 in my south node is right here. When we look at the black lines, it's because one of my planets on the personality side of my chart is in gate 36. That is my Venus. The personality side of your chart are the gates and lines that were activated the moment you were born. So this is basically your astrology chart, pretty much, plain and simple. This is your astrology chart, but in a different language of human design. What makes human design different than astrology is your design side. the red side. Your design side are the gates and lines that were activated 89 moon cycles before the day you were born. This is when it is believed that your soul drops into your body. So this is your unconscious, and this personality side is your conscious side. I would not be me if I did not give you a cheat sheet to what each one of these glyphs mean. And they mean the same thing on the personality side and the design side. And I will mention again, if you're here live, you don't have to freak out and try to write all this stuff down. I'm actually going to send you this after I get it back from Zoom. So you're going to have this whole presentation to do what you would like with. So one of the other differences between human design and astrology is that human design uses the earth. And in human design, the earth is about grounding and balancing, and it is stability. So it's just a little interesting side note, little nerding out on some human design for you. So what do we have next? Oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't realize we were done. Oh, there was actually like 2 more slides after this, but now that we are done with 98% of the presentation, I want to say thank you very much for being here and allowing me to convey how much I love human design, and just thank you so much. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's I am Maureen Webb. My website is maureen/web.com. And if you're into it, I also have an Etsy shop called Astromancy Creations. So we have, I'm going to stop the share. No, I'm going to stop recording. Hold on. Oh my God, I don't even know about my life right now. Okay, stop recording. Yes.